gorgeous human beings of the channel. A summit of sisterhood for me, for you, for us. This is going to be a very unique and fun call. This is one of our 30-minute calls. And the person who's leading this for us, I think the best way to describe is the soft power, like absolute power, but in the softest possible way. And throughout the entire channel, Mariame has been one of the participants that's held the most incredible space. So often when participants were going through stuff, I'd be looking at her and she'd be like rewriting in light language while other people were speaking. And she just has this way of being that's so rare and so unique. And you're going to get to actually experience a process with her. She's not just going to be talking today, she's going to be leading something, and we're going to get to have the experience of that here. So I'm going to bring her right on because I don't want to take 1 minute of this process from her, so we have all of the most magical time together. So Mariame, come on up.
Hi, hello. It's an honor to be here today. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction.
It is my absolute pleasure. So I'm going to give you the floor. I'm actually going to remove myself so you have the full screen. And when you're ready for me to come back, you just call me right back up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. It's my pleasure.
So, hi, welcome. For those who don't know, my name is Mariame, and I work with money. I absolutely love money. It is one of the things that has been the greatest portals for me to learn about myself and to go through this journey of self-discovery and embodiment. And so I have so many things that I want to bring here for you today. So the first thing that we're going to go through is a little bit of an experience. We're going to talk about money from a really different perspective. I have had the opportunity of working with so many people in financial planning, having conversations about money. But once you start talking about money, you start to understand that there's more, there's layers, there's depth to how people interact with money and how they define their relationship with money. How people define their relationship with money, I believe, is a direct correlation to how people define and experience their relationship with themselves. So this analogy came to me in the wee hours of the morning a few days ago, so we're going to roll with it. I want you to imagine that we are going to go do axe throwing. And if this is not something, I've never done axe throwing, but it's something that seems so fun. And for the analogy purposes, it's going to be perfect. So I want you to imagine there's this board in front of you. And it's a target. And on this target, we're going to put a huge dollar bill on it. And this dollar bill represents money. Okay. We as a collective and we as individuals have used money to represent so much of who we are, of our experiences in life. And what a lot of people do when they interact with money is they feel it's something that's separate from them. So we're going to start here with us here throwing our axes at this board of money. And I want you to start, as I'm speaking, I want you to start thinking for yourself, what are some of the things that I have pinned money to? What have I pinned to money, right? So I'm just going to give some examples. And, as they come, let your own examples come too. We're going to be creating like a tapestry of money. So the first one that is very common for a lot of people is lack, right? People experience lack when it comes to money. And the first thing that you often associate lack with is money. When you think of scarcity, your mind first usually goes to money, right? So we go through life and we have these axes, we have a whole bag of axes, and we throw these axes at this board and we're throwing and pinning lack and scarcity to money. And it becomes so ingrained in us that it's the first thing that we go to. It's the first thing that we think of. And because it's something that's we build and we go through life, money in itself is just a canvas. It's just a vehicle. It's just money. But we assign so much to money and so much value to it. So we have these axes that we throw. So I'm going to use lack as an example, right? So I want you to picture on this board, we have negative 50,000, so $50,000 in debt. You owe $50,000. I want you to imagine $0, and I want you to imagine $1 million. So we have these three increments of money, right? And already you might start to get a feeling around what these numbers mean to you. $1 million might feel like something that is expansive. It might feel like, wow, that's something I could do something with, right? Like there's a lightheartedness already. When you start to sit with the energy of zero, it's like, okay, like what does zero mean to me? It means I don't have any money. And when you think about 50,000 in debt, you start to like contract a little bit. It might not feel so great. And you start to associate these numbers with how you feel and how you interact with money. And so what I want to bring into awareness is that we are the ones that are throwing the axes. So if we are holding an axe of lack in our hands and we're just aiming at this board, it doesn't matter if we're going to hit negative 50,000, 0, or $1 million, we will have an experience of lack. That will be an experience that we experience. We're the ones that are throwing that. And so you start to see how each dollar value, each point that we experience, each money, whatever that number is and what it represents, we are assigning meaning to it instantly. We're instantly assigning what that means. And like I said, I mentioned $1 million might feel expansive to you. It might feel like something that's like lighthearted and free. But if you're throwing it with the axe of lack, it's inevitable that there will be an experience of it through that manifestation, through receiving that. It might be a really high, and then you might go back to, well, but there's more. Like, I want more. I don't feel like I have enough, because lack continues. The belief of lack continues to perpetuate, right? So I want you to think of this at the same time as something that might have a positive connotation, like success, right? So we have our success axe, and now we are like throwing success at this board, at this money, and we're like defining success with money. We love, as human beings, we love to define our experience, right? So we're constantly throwing axes at money, defining like, what is this showing to me? What is this reflecting to me, right? And it's such a beautiful experience when you start to see from the perspective of we're the ones that are throwing and pinning money down to this board. Collectively and individually, we're experiencing money in our own unique way. We're pinning worth to money. We're saying, I'm worthy. I'm worthy, and this is what it looks like. I'm worthy, and this is what it looks like. When you start to recognize and come into the awareness that we're the ones that are throwing the axes, you can start to see that when we say phrases like I am worthy, we're assigning a measurement to it. What if instead you said, I am not worthy. My worth is not something that can be measured or questioned. I am worth itself. I am worth itself. And we don't need to pin what our worthiness is to a dollar value, to an experience, to anything. We just get to experience worth as it is. Because you start to see that lack and worth and abundance are all just frequencies. They all exist. And our experience of them flows through us, and we get to experience it as such. And money is like the perfect display for us to see how we are experiencing life. What are we believing to be true about ourselves? What are we believing to be true about the world and how we navigate life? It's such a beautiful experience. So I want you all, now that we have this board, and I hope you all have had some other things come through, because there can be a lot of things that we have pinned money to, a lot of things. I want us all to just take a step back and look at this board in reverence. Like, we as a species have created a masterpiece of art when it comes to money. This is art. I want you to imagine how many axes are on this like board collectively and individually with money. We make money to mean so much, so many different things, so many different experiences. So just take a moment and just appreciate it. Wow, we did this. This is beauty. And now we have the ability to change it. So I invite you to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Marveling at this board that we have created, this beautiful piece of art, pinning our dreams and our desires to money. I want you to begin to shift your awareness. We're going to be moving our awareness 90 degrees to the right. Slowly begin shifting your awareness. And as you arrive, you're going to see an infinite horizon in front of you. Beautiful infinite horizon. You may start to feel your heart open. Here, there's so much potential. There's infinite expression, infinite love flowing through. I want you to allow desires of your heart to begin to arise. And as a desire arises, I want you to imagine this beam of light shooting out from your heart and into this infinite horizon. And as you allow these desires to flow through, more and more come. You invite more and more desire into your life. More and more expression. And these beams of light are coming from your heart and reaching this infinite horizon out in front of you. Take a few deep breaths and come back to this moment. You can open your eyes. This infinite horizon is how we want to experience life. Our desires that flow through us reach the infinite and are expressed as such. When we have desires flow through, we have our tapestry still, our beautiful artwork here on the left. When we have our desires flow through and we're focused here, our desires flow through and hit money almost immediately. But when we allow ourselves to expand and experience desire, experience the infinite horizon of desire, it's an entirely new experience. And we get to experience money in an entirely different way. So say that you have a desire of wanting to buy a house. When you're facing the money board, your desire will come through and your mind will go to money. How much money do I need to have? How do I get a down payment? How much do I have to work? It will go immediately to the how. And the how is almost always expressed and answered in current society as and through money and time. How? The answer to that is money and time, usually, right? Here in this infinite landscape of desire, we just let the how take care of itself, let the how be for a moment, and we actually get to focus on the desire that we want. That's all. Okay, sorry, I was just checking the time. We actually get to experience the desire that we want to experience. Because maybe buying a house is more than just the money that we need to buy the house. Maybe buying a house means that we get to make a house a home, and we get to have our family there and raise our family and connect with people and have traditions built here, have legacy built here, have this be a place of gathering, of love, of connection. When you can follow that desire and allow it to reach the infinite horizon, it will flow through in a way that's so clean and so clear. And when you're focused here, you start to recognize that all of these axes that you've pinned to money start to fall. And you start to free the tie to money. And you begin to walk through life through your desires, and money gets to flow right beside you through every step of the journey. Money isn't the how anymore. It just amplifies the expression of your greatest desires. From here, you are worth itself. Here, you are abundance itself. You are love itself. Your love, your abundance is not something that could be measured. Abundance is not a monetary value. It's a frequency. And when you live from this state, you will experience desires that come to you that you could not have possibly imagined. And not only that, life will happen in a way that shows you something so magical beyond what you can even conceive. Has there ever been, like, have you ever had an experience where you didn't even think to ask for something that happened, but it was so good? Like, you're just like, how does this happen? I didn't even think to ask for this experience, and here it is. And I'm just like the magic of it. The shift in perception, the shift in identity is required to experience ourselves differently and experience our relationship with money differently. And I am here for the evolution of money on this planet. I am here for the evolution of ourselves on this planet. I I love I love money so much. And money is just a reflection of it. It's just a reflection of what I already hold to be true. I'm not powerful or powerless. I am power itself. Power is not something that defines me. It's not a condition. Everything just flows from here, and desires and experiences get to be so exponential, so exponential. And money, it just walks with you on the journey. It just free flows. And the thing is when desires flow through and they're so clear and they reach that horizon, it's beautiful because the desire itself has the how in the answer. In the desire itself is the how for its manifestation already complete. And so when you sit in the energy of the desire, when you sit in the energy of the truth of who you are, everything just flows, it works. It's just an extension of the truth of who you are, and you will experience again and again through money, through relationships, through experiences, the truth of you. So I thank you all for being here today. Melanie, if you want to hop back on.
Oh
I
my God.
Yes, hold on. I need to make sure I can see you.
Let's see if we can repin me. Hang on. There we are. Okay, first of all, one of the things I really loved about what you said about the axe throwing is like the axe is the energy that you're throwing at the money, and it's pinning it down based on the energy you're throwing. So you've got this energetic frequency in your hand and you're throwing the frequency towards the target, and that pins the target.
Yes.
If you think about it, a person that's holding an axe with the frequency of abundance would say, "Oh, an extra million," or zero, "Oh, nothing happened," or 50,000. "Ooh, what did I buy? What did I shop for? Why
Yeah.
minus 50,000? What was it?" You know, the person who's just neutral about money will be like, minus 50,000. Yeah, I know. Zero. Yeah, I'm used to it. A million. Who knows? That'd be great. A person who's like negative about money, $1 million. Yeah, right. Never. Zero. Story of my life. Minus 50,000. Oh God, I'll never pay it off. And it's like, that's the energy that you throw. And there's so many nuances of that. That's just 3 different nuances. But how often are you looking at a target thinking the target is the thing that's causing you the feelings, when in fact it's the energy you're holding the axe with? It's the very axe you're throwing that's causing the energetic pin. Like
Yes.
that's what's securing what's happening, is the energy you keep throwing at money. So I loved that analogy. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And the other thing I really loved about what you did and what you said was the whole horizon metaphor. Because when we're in our minds and we're looking at how and when and what, we're looking at what we are already feeling we lack to create the biggest thing we've ever wanted. Like I'm looking in my pockets and I've got pebbles and a chewing gum and a stick, and I'm going, how do I build a house with this? Instead of thinking of all the resources, the people, the miracles, the energetics, the conversations, the things that could happen if I start talking about my vision, if I start walking towards that vision, if I start creating it and talking about it, what could happen? What could happen? But no, I want to just look at the twigs and the rock and the bubble gum in my hand and go, I just don't see how this is ever going to make a house. And then universe says, would you like to throw an axe at a house just for fun? And you're like, yes, please give me the terrible one that has no outcome. I want to give me the energetics of impossible and I can't handle it. I'll throw that at the house. And then we pin it to the wall. And so I love all of these visuals, and they're things that we can take ourselves through whenever things are getting overwhelming. And it's like, I'm getting in a bad energy around this and I don't know how to get myself out. Just imagine you just picked an axe, pick a different one. If I picked an axe of possibility, of dreams come true, of the horizon, of every single possibility on earth in my hands, and I throw that at my dream, what might happen instead? So that was beautiful. I loved both those analogies. And so just one thing I'd love, as a parting gift, I'm going to read your bio, but before I read it, the one thing actually, if the Alpha team could send it to me, I just realized my phone died in this moment. If we could put it in the comment section. One thing I would love is if you could it's impossible to define ourselves, but when people come to you most of the time, when they're saying, okay, Mariame, I want you to help me. Like you're my one, what are they usually coming for? What pulls them to you?
That's such a hard question to answer. I would like to think that it's more around energy than I'm going to you for this specific outcome. Like I'm going to you so you can manage my finances or something like that. It's more so I'm here and ready to evolve. I'm here and ready to change. And right now I work part-time financial planning in the profession, part-time in my business. And it's very different people that I work with, but for the people who come based on the energy, based on ready to change their relationship with money, redefine who they are in their relationship to money, I think it's a call, but it's so much of it is energetics too, because it's about you.
I love that. So I'm going to read your bio. Mariame is a guide, visionary, and money guru. Her traditional path began through schooling in personal finance, which led to a financial planning degree and years of industry experience. Over the years in the profession, she gathered a better understanding of the beliefs held personally and collectively around money, safety, security, power, wealth, and love. She dove deeper into those topics through exploration of texts, literature, classes, practices, and teachings, aiding a multitude of both tangible and intangible experiences. Through her years of practice and study, she became a certified advanced channel and has worked with several individuals on their path as they explore their deepest embodiment and highest truth. She continues her passion in the profession of financial planning and money management, combining her technical expertise with her creative and visionary gifts to help others in being, building, and creating the life of their dreams. I love that so much. And I love your unique approach to things. And I feel like this couldn't have been a better representation of Mariame, because in the entire channel, you were not the one that popped in for discussion. You were the one who tuned in for energy. You were the one who provided energetic support. You were like, literally holding the energetic space, much more than giving advice or interjecting. It was like you were holding the sacredness of the container. You were focusing on keeping a clean space for everybody, and we felt that. We watched you do it so many times, and it's such an embodied thing. Like the energy that you hear, the softness of the voice, the energy, like that's this is who this person is. And it's such an incredible thing to have a person like this in your space that just the minute you hear their voice, you're like, oh my gosh. Okay, tell me about the horizon. And yes, like I'm gonna focus on that today. I just needed to calm down. I just needed to breathe. Like in your presence, there's breath, and a different way of seeing. So thank you for who you've been in the channel with us for the last 2 years. It's been an honor to walk with you. Thank you for this beautiful process. I'm sure these are images people will keep in their mind for a very long time. Thank you for tuning in with us. We have one more call this evening with Andy Love. It's going to be amazing. And then a whole other day tomorrow. So thank you so much for tuning in with us once more, Mariame. That was incredible. Thank you so much. And to all of you, have the most incredible few hours or hour or so. And we will be back here for the last and final speaker this evening. Thank you. We'll see you on the internet. Bye.